Hello and welcome to Neighborhood Real Estate Update, where we give you hyper-local, timely, and accurate information about real estate in zip codes all over San Diego County. Today is March 7th, 2023, and we're talking about 92127. Now, this is a zip code with homes of many different ages and many different types, very different neighborhoods in 92127. We have a viewer who is a residential real estate appraiser who told us that he likes to carve this up into basically three different overall areas. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take a look at what we generally refer to as West Rancho Bernardo. And these are homes that are all built before 2000. And they are in neighborhoods like Bernardo Springs, Westwood, and High Country West. And then later on, starting around 2003, 2004, we started to get homes being built in 4S Ranch. And 4S Ranch was being built, from 2004 all the way up into 2010. And then right around that same time frame, not Camino del Sur, but Del Sur, the community, was also coming up. So 4S Ranch and Del Sur, I think we can lump those two together. And there's a lot of sub-neighborhoods in there as well, but generally referred to as Del Sur and 4S Ranch. And then we have the expensive homes in the Crosby, in Santaluz, and places like that. So we are going to look at it that way and see how it goes. Let's jump right into it. The first thing we need to do is get over here to the MLS screen, and we're going to take a look at how many homes we have in San Diego County. 2337. That's about the same as it was last week. So inventory is homes for sale. The number of homes for sale is about the same as it was last week. So no major changes there. It's been going down, down, down. So maybe it's going to stabilize now. Maybe it's going to start going back up. We don't know yet, but at this point, it hasn't gone down anymore since last week. Let's go ahead and look at active, pending, and sold in the last 30 days. And the easiest way to isolate West Rancho Bernardo is just to say maximum year built 2000. Let's have a look at everything built before the year 2000. That way we will not see 4S Ranch. We will not see Del Sur. So let's look at these. Let's go ahead and look at our CMA summary view here. So in these neighborhoods, we currently have 9 active and 11 pending. The actives have been on the market an average of 46 days. The pendings an average of 24 days. Look at that disparity there. That's about half, of course, not exactly half, but I'm saying about half. And, it just goes to show you that you throw a house on the market at the right price, it will sell quickly. Or if you get the price down. Now, what the heck happened here? Why do I have one on Doug Hill? Because I know that is in Santaluz. That didn't work. Oh, it was built in 2000. Son of a gun. All right, well, let's get that one out of there. I didn't think there were any that old in Santaluz. So what are we going to do? We are going to back out of here, and we're going to say, all right, 1998. There's definitely nothing out in Santaluz in 1998. Let's go in there again. Okay. Alrighty then. Back to the CMA summary. Okay, let's get me out of the picture. We're just going to kind of a do-over on this one. All right, so we have 9 active and 10 pending. 46 days on the active, 17 days on the pending. Now, see, look what happened when we took out that $5.5 million property in Santaluz. The pending average dropped to 17 days because there were 11, now there's only 10, and that one on Doug Hill had 90 some days of market time that was really pulling it up. So this is a giant disparity between active and pending market time. We've got a lot of these attached properties that are pending, townhomes, only 3 detached properties pending. And if we look at the active, we only have 2 active detached properties in these neighborhoods. So very few detached properties, but we do have a handful of condos and a twin home, not a townhome, but a twin home. And one of these twin homes pending. Anyway, pretty balanced here in terms of active and pending. And then in the last 30 days, 14 sold. So solds are coming up in number. The sold right now is outpacing the pending. So this month's solds are last month's pendings. And we had a lot of properties go under contract last month. Again, we've got a handful of townhomes, twin homes, and condos, and a lot of detached. And when we look at the average market time, it's 39 days. And when we look at list to sale price, we're looking at a lot of properties that appear to have sold at, near, or above. A lot of these are above, a lot of these are at, and a couple of them are over. So this is what was happening last month in terms of properties going under contract. What are these going to look like when they close? We'll see. But there are less of them, aren't there? Interesting. So that's what's happening in Old West Rancho Bernardo. Old West. Let's go back now and try and figure out how we isolate Forest Ranch and Del Sur. And here's how I think we're going to do this. We can't really do it by year built because then we're going to get a bunch of properties from Santaluz and so on and so forth. So we can do this by map. We're going to do a polygon search. In other words, we're going to highlight an area on the map and say, let's see everything inside of there. Now, what are we going to do here? We're going to draw ourselves a polygon, and we're going to draw it around Del Sur. So we're going to go up Camino del Sur here, like this. And then we're going to grab all this stuff up here in northern Forest Ranch. And then we are going to come down along this road here, which is, I believe, is that Dove Canyon? No, Camino San Bernardo. Yes. We're going to use Camino San Bernardo going this way, but then we have to come down here and capture these all the way down to Bernardo Center Drive, and all these along the bottom southern edge of Forest Ranch. Now see, these in here, some are age restricted. I guess we're just not going to worry about that because we'll be here all day. So here we go. And David, if you see me doing this wrong, you let me know and I will fix it. So this is what I'm calling our second chunk of 92127, essentially Del Sur and Forest Ranch. And we're going to run that search. CMA summary. So here we go. In Forest Ranch and Del Sur, now I think I grabbed, okay, one more thing we got to do to make sure that because I grabbed a couple that were in that first group. Let's make sure we say the minimum year built here. Minimum year built is going to be 2000. All right, that ought to help us. Yeah, good. Okay. Summary. So in Forest Ranch and Del Sur, we have a similar number of actives. There were 10 in West Rancho Bernardo. There are 11 here in Forest Ranch and Del Sur. 11 active, 12 pending. 63 days on average for market time here in the Forest Ranch and Del Sur area. 68 days on those pending. So the pending market time is actually higher than the active. Interesting. So we must have a couple of long market time. Yes, we got this one at 198 days on Kristen Glen out here in Del Sur. Got this one at 124, 173, 120. So we have several properties that are tugging that average up. Now, interestingly enough, the solds are definitely below the pending. So there's more pending than there are sold in the last 30 days, and the market time on the sold is only 40 days. So that's interesting. But when we look at what has sold in the last 30 days, we're looking at properties that are very close to asking price, over at asking price, slightly under, right at asking price, and slightly under. So we're looking at, 97, 98% list to sale price ratio there. So in terms of active and pending, very similar numbers. In terms of market time on the pending, we have definitely got a much higher market time here in Forest Ranch and Del Sur, and again, higher market time on the active, but we do have one or two places that are really pulling that average up. So now let's get into the last chunk of this, and that's going to be just a little bit trickier because I got to make sure and draw this. Let's delete, let's edit, let's get rid of that polygon. Actually, let's keep that one there while I make a new one, because that's going to help me to, okay, draw. Let's draw another polygon. And before I do that, let's go ahead and draw another polygon. And you know what? I'm not going to worry too much about the shape here because I'm going to restrict it to 92127, and that's going to help us out. So as we go out Camino del Sur here, we are going to wind up going down into 92130 or 92129, and there's nothing in 92127 that is south of San Dieguito Road, I don't think. So we're just going to go over like this, and we're going to bypass Rancho Santa Fe, and that's Del Dios Road. Let's just cut on up through here, up along Del Dios Road, and then using Lake Hodges as our northern boundary, more or less, because we know that's not 92127. And we also know we've already looked at this over here, so we're going to keep those out of there, and then we're going to follow this line here. Oops. Here, and we're going to close that polygon, and we are going to, oh boy, which one is which? Okay, we're going to delete that one now. So now we no longer have Forest Ranch and Del Sur. Theoretically, what we have here is Santaluz, the Crosby, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and search. And we're probably not going to have very many properties to consider at all here. Let's make sure our criteria are okay. We're going to get that out of there. The year built, active pending, sold, 92127, 30 days back, looks good. So now we will see our third and final piece of 92127 here. Okay, CMA summary. All right. Now, we're looking at 9 active and 4 pending. So this is high-end stuff, folks. We're looking at properties that are, well over $1.5 million, and nothing. It's the lowest priced one here is 2.749. So this is a completely different class of property and will behave differently than the rest of the market. But what's going on here right now, 9 active and 41 days on average, only 4 pending, 71 days on average to pending. So if you're trying to sell a home out here, it's likely going to take a little longer. 71 days to pending on these. And there appear to be anyway, more homes on the market than there are demand for properties. And I would say that's not necessarily uncommon. Now, ouch, only one closed in the last 30 days. Here on Twilight Point Way, it took 167 days to sell. It was listed at 4.348 and closed at 4.1. So looking from this standpoint, we are about to triple our closings in the next 30 days. If all four of these close, then that is going to really increase the number of sold properties, or percentage anyway, of sold properties in the last 30 days in this part of 92127. So that's what's happening in 92127 right now. And I would really be interested, and I will reach out and ask if I did that properly in my appraiser friend's opinion. I want to make sure I captured all of that properly. I think I did. I do have a working knowledge of the area. So in any event, that's what's happening in 92127. We'll be back tomorrow with another installation of Neighborhood Real Estate Update. And then on Thursday this week, we are going to do our February numbers in review. So we're going to give you what's happening on the ground as of all of the information that we get from SDAR in February. And if you're tracking what the Union Tribune is doing, somewhere around the beginning of April, end of middle of April, they'll be talking about what happened in February. So we're giving you that information as it is fresh. So tune in for all of that and have a great day. We will see you later.